everyone, welcome to Slater's Wrist Game. Today we're going to do a review of the Invicta Reserve Subaqua Specialty with the Valjoux 7750 movement. So I'm really looking forward to doing this review, but before I get started, I would like to thank everybody for supporting the channel. We have now surpassed 950 subscribers and we are on our way to 1,000. So thanks for that. And we also just reached a milestone of 250,000 views for the channel. So thank you for that. I was very excited to pick up this watch because I bought a lot of Invicta watches, and they normally, when they are automatic, they have an NH35 or a Ronda or maybe like a Chinese movement in there. I don't have too many with a 7750 or even a Salida. But this one has a Valjoux 7750 chronograph, and a lot of people would describe this as the world's most successful chronograph movement. A little information about the Valjoux is it almost stopped production in 1975 due to the quartz crisis. But the designer held on, I think, to the plans, and they end up a few years later producing it again. And now, like I said, it is the world's most successful chronograph movement. And like I said, most chronographs are a Valjoux. But the reason it's been so successful because it's very robust and very reliable because due to a simple design. So a lot of watches, especially in-house chronograph movements use a column wheel technology, but this one uses a 3-plane cam system, which is a lot simpler. It was not a very refined movement, and it's actually a very thick movement. But at the end of the day, a lot of watchmakers can service this movement. And if you own this watch, it's easy for you to find somebody to fix it, and it doesn't cost a ton of money. You don't have to send it back to Switzerland and get it back in 6 to 9 months and pay like $1,000 or something like that. So this watch here, because of those type of features, being robust, reliable, affordable, easy to service, it's been very successful, okay? But a little bit about this watch in particular, I picked this up in November of 2023. Got a pretty good discount on it, and the model number is 45379. Now, as far as the specs, let's look at the specs for a minute. This watch has a 52 millimeter case. Okay, it has the lug of 60 millimeters, but the lugs do point downward. It has a height of 20 millimeters, so it's a pretty tall watch. And it has a lug width of 31 millimeters that takes down to 26 millimeters at the clasp. This watch is 500 meters water resistance, and the screw down crown and screw down pushers definitely help with that. And this watch here is powered by the ETA Valjoux 7750 movement. And if you didn't, as far as some basic specs about the movement, it has a day date function. What you can see here is a hacking movement, manual winding movement. There's a quick set date and a 48-hour power reserve. So that's pretty good for a third-party movement, okay? But the thing is, Swatch Group owns ETA, so there are not a lot of companies outside of the Swatch Group that have access to these Valjoux 7750 movements. So this was one of those rare offerings by Invicta, and I decided to pick it up. All right, but one thing I like most about this watch is the look of the watch. I do like this high polished bezel. You see this watch here has a high polished bezel with 46 black spinel stones, and those stones have a carat weight of 4.14 carats. So the stones will reflect the light very well and give you a little bit of a like bling to it. The rest of the watch has a brushed, has like a matte finish to it on the case and a bracelet, okay? But when you look at the dial, you see this black dial with a white minute track on the outer part of the dial. You see 3 sub dials that are black, but they're trimmed in white. So the first sub dial at the 12 o'clock is actually a 30-minute sub dial. Then you have a 60-second sub dial at the 9 o'clock, and you have a 12-hour sub dial at the 6 o'clock. Also at the 6 o'clock, you do see the word Swiss movement instead of Swiss made. So basically the movement is from Switzerland, but the watch was not cased in Switzerland. All right, you see the day date function at the 3 o'clock, and you see the word Invicta Reserve on top of that day date cut out, and we're automatic chronograph under that. So I do like this watch here. It has the alternating high polish and matte finish. I like watches with a matte finish. Okay. We look at the side of the case, you see the watch is signed with the Invicta Reserve logo, and I do like the skeletonized case of the Subaqua specialty design. All right. Looking more at the bracelet, it is a 5-link bracelet that starts at 31 millimeters, tapers down to 26 millimeters, and this here photo with clasp is signed with the Invicta logo. All right, when you open this up, you can see the display case back, which has a screw down case back, and you can see all the information like the model number, water resistance, and all this stuff. The Invicta Reserve logo and the model for the Invicta Reserve. And also see that this watch here has solid end links, which means it's not going to rattle a lot when you move it around, which is what I like. Okay. And we look at the bracelet. The bracelet is held in place by some pins. It's probably a pin and collar system. And when you look at the clasp, you do see a lot of micro adjust, 5 micro adjust on the clasp. So in the summer when my wrist expands, or in the evening when my wrist expands, it's easy to adjust this. One thing I did forget to mention, the crown is a screw down crown that is signed with the Invicta logo. And it is a screw down crown, and you do have some screw down pushers. So right now I'm gonna unscrew the pusher so we can take a look at the chronograph action. Sorry, it's hard to do anything with these gloves. The chronograph action is pretty good for this watch. All right, now we go ahead and start it. We'll let it run about 20 seconds, kind of get a look at it. Then we'll reset, stop it and reset. And one thing I forgot to mention is the hands on this watch. So you have skeletonized hands for the hour hand and the minute hand. And the chronograph hand has the Invicta Reserve logo on the end of that hand. All right, now it's been about 25 seconds, so we'll stop it and we'll reset. So like I said, I do like this watch. As far as the positives, this watch has 500 meters water resistance, which is hard for a chronograph. You have screw down pushers and a screw down crown. This crown is pretty big, so it's easy to grab the crown and use it. This watch here is very legible, and I like the alternating finishing between the high polish finish and the matte finish. I do like the fact that the lugs point downward, so which means this watch will conform to your wrist. And I do like the fact that the bracelet actually tapers, and you have a display case backs. So a lot of positive. The only negatives is that this watch here is very heavy. So you definitely know you have something on your wrist while you're wearing this watch. And this watch has a 60 millimeters lug to lug, which a lot of people are not going to be able to wear it. I think you need a 7-inch wrist to wear this one. And speaking of, but the wearing it, let me right now do a wrist shot. So right now I'm wearing the Armatron. This is my gym watch. I wear this watch in the sauna a lot. Probably need another digital watch to go along with it. Well, I don't need it, probably just want it. All right. My wrist is 7 1/4 inches, which is 18 centimeters. So now we'll put on this Invicta and see how it fits. All right, so now you can see this on my 7 1/4 inch wrist, which is 18 centimeters. Just do a quick wrist roll so you guys can get an idea of how it will look on your wrist. Okay, and let me see. Yeah, you can get a better look at the lug to lug here. But that's it. I just want to do a quick review. I really enjoy this watch, and it is a keeper. And I don't think Invicta is going to be offering too many more Valjoux 7750s because Swatch Group has the rights to it. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Please continue to comment, like, and subscribe. Now I'll bring you another video soon. All right, thanks and enjoy your day.